I found out my boyfriend of 3 years had a wife and son after I thought I knew his entire life. I thought he was the person I was going to spend the rest of my life with. He was older, mature, had a good career, and always seemed like someone who had everything together. He was thoughtful, planned dates, remembered little things I said, and always made an effort to see me despite his busy schedule. He lived in an apartment in the city, only a few blocks away from my place. That apartment was where I spent almost all my time with him. I cooked there, slept there, left clothes there, and genuinely thought of it as my second home. He always told me that he was no contact with his family. We usually only saw each other around 3 times a week because he claimed his job was demanding, and I honestly thought that was just what adult relationships were like. And he cared about me because he'd still find time for me. I found out the real truth because a woman messaged me on Instagram asking if I knew him. I assumed it was going to be something stupid, but then she sent me a photo of him with a little boy, his 5-year-old son. She asked me how long I had been seeing her husband. I just assumed she was lying. And she sent me more photos. Family vacations, birthday parties, Christmas mornings, you name it. All these pictures of him in a house I had never seen before. He was married with a family. She'd found out the night before she texted me. He was in the shower when she came home earlier than he expected and had left his secret phone unlocked on the table. She clicked on the notification for me and figured out everything. I called him immediately and asked what was going on. At first he tried to deny it, but eventually he admitted that he had been married the entire time we were together. He said he's married and has been unhappy for years and that he and his wife were basically just co-parenting. I replied to his wife because I needed answers. That's when I found out the part that made me feel even more sick. The apartment I thought was his home wasn't actually his home. She told me he lived with her and their son in a house in the suburbs, about 45 minutes outside of the city. She had no idea he was renting another place. That apartment wasn't where he lived. I felt physically sick realizing that every memory I had in that apartment was built on a lie. I thought I was getting to know his real life, but I was only seeing the version he created for his own entertainment. He rushed over to my place, and I asked how he could do this for so long. He said he never intended for things to go this far. He claimed he really did love me, and that what we had was real. Then he said he still loved her, but he needed more, and I gave him that. He admitted that his apartment was a place he rented about a year before we met, specifically so he could have somewhere private to bring women he was cheating with. Obviously, I ended things immediately. I also gave his wife every piece of information I had because she deserved to know the truth. The hardest part for me wasn't just finding out he cheated. It was realizing that the home I thought represented our relationship was never real at all. It was just another part of the lie. I'd wasted 3 years of my life on someone who just considered me as a double life, not his real one. I was purely just a fantasy and an escape from his real life.